Hey, it's Scott. I'm here with all our good friend who we're going to refer to as either Razor or Barnard Fife for the duration of this exciting event. And he's going to talk to you about what he's doing and a little bit of some fundraising that we've also decided to do that should be fun.
So fundraising. So let's look at the map here. This is what I'm attempting to do for the second time is through hike the Pacific Crest Trail, which goes from the Mexican border through California, Oregon, and Washington to Canada. So that's 2,665 miles or so. And it'll take me between, at my age and then speed, 4.5 to 5 months to complete the whole thing. Perhaps faster, depending on how I'm going, how I acclimate. I made it in 2008. I made it 2 days north of Crater Lake, which would have been about right there. And I realized I had a deformity in my foot. So, actually, I didn't realize it was a deformity at that point. It just hurt like hell for about 1,400 miles. So I'm back to start from the beginning and do the whole thing this time. So, and here's I'm just leaving in a couple of days. So. Here, Scott, come on down here and let's take a look this way. So what I've been doing very intensely for the last month or so is preparing these supply boxes. So that represents my food, maps, critical small equipment, and which my wife will be mailing to me while I'm out there. So I self-supply. In other words, there's a thing called general delivery at the post offices. Some of you may know about that. That's where if, for instance, if I want to have a post box go to Ashland, Oregon, I would do my name, care of general delivery, and Ashland, and then write Ashland and then Oregon, and then the zip code. And then if I do go to the counter at that post office and show ID, I can pick that parcel up. So this is how I do it. A lot of hikers do it this way. Other ones live out of the grocery stores and those small 7-Elevens and stuff, and that's just, I don't want to do that. I'd rather have food that I like and is more palatable and everything. So there's a lot of effort. This is, literally hundreds of hours of work, believe it or not, getting it all just right, because there's a lot of detail that associates with which each box is a town. And so there's the details of the town and where it's at, what it offers, what you'll need in that stretch of trail ahead of it. So it's a lot more complicated than you might think if you want to do it this way, but I feel it offers me more comfort on the trail and more variety.
And that's different than you did it last time?
No, I did it this way the last time. I said I was going to eat out of the stores more, but just the thought of eating ramen noodles and Lipton's dinners and macaroni and cheese for 5 months.
And trail bars.
Yeah, it's just really nasty. So so that's what I'm going to do. Let me see let's go over here and look at some of the food I made. Here's the different meals. This is an Oriental soup that's actually quite good. I have mixed the chicken with it. It's kind of a miso base with chicken broth and a nice noodle that I discovered made in Hong Kong. It's like a real high-end ramen noodle type preparation noodle. And excellent mushrooms from a place in Wisconsin. North Bay Trading Company, really good freeze-dried mushrooms. They rehydrate right up, and it's really very pleasant to eat them. So that's the miso dinner, and here's the potato soup dinner. This is I add a lot of milk to it. I believe in the fat idea, so I have a lot of fat in my food on the trail to give me energy, and stay away from all the high carbohydrate type of eating. I do get plenty of carbohydrates as it is. It's hard to not get carbohydrates in this food, but I rely on fat for the late day energy. And here's a cheese packet, and that's almost a quart of soup. Here's kind of like an iron ration. This is if you don't really want to make a big deal out of dinner, and this is just what this is you rehydrate the beans and you throw the broken up corn chip in there, put some spice in there real quick and just eat and go to bed. That's in case you don't want to spend a lot of time with dinner. It's really kind of a real low energy to make.
So typically you walk how far between towns and you sleep
Well,
outside?
I hit it real hard the last time I went, and I think that was a mistake. I think it caused some leg strain and injury that I had to rest later on for. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to start slower. So I won't be doing any more than say, well, there's been 15 miles a day at first. There's some border problems right now. I was just reading that there's some illegal trouble So they're wanting the hikers to move through the area very quickly, so I'll probably do 20 miles the first day, but just because it was near the border. 25 miles is totally doable for me in that environment.
There literally is a border fence right there, right where you start.
Yeah, the monument is right next to it.
Right against the Mexican
border. Yeah, if you have no idea about anything about the Pacific Crest Trail or the PCT, just look it up on Wikipedia. They have an excellent article there. There's a lot of links and the history of it and what people do and how it's done and where it goes and the joys and pains of it. So I'll be doing 15 miles a day approximately, and then by Idlewild or so, I should be up to about 18 miles a day. I'm going to slowly increase my mileage, and by Washington State, I plan on doing about 27 miles a day.
And this is a lot of mountains. It's not.
It's all mountains. Yeah, it's all mountains. Yeah, I mean in the south there, where it first starts, it's rolling hills, but it's all up and down.
Now that's the Mojave Desert.
No, that's the border area down by Campo. The Mojave Desert we cross here. I'll show you that. Let's go back to the map. We cross the Mojave Desert here, which is really by far the least pleasant and most distasteful part of the entire hike. Here's Hiker Town, which is a little weird place of a guy with a bunch of shacks, and he puts the hikers up. Anyway, you hike across that end of the Mojave Desert, and you finally make it to Tehachapi, which is an old railroad town. So I've been to most of these towns. It's a beautiful experience just seeing the towns and living there for a day, and you get this culture of the small California town.
And those are called trail angels, the people that are out there.
Well, the trail angels would be individuals who live in or about the trail, maybe in those towns, maybe not, who offer, shelter, sometimes food, a shower, and a place to stay for free.
Medical care, once in a while. I think I saw that.
I never heard that. I mean, they'll take you. Perhaps they'll drive you to the doctor or something.
Yeah.
There's particularly this one group here in Agua Dulce. It says Hiker Heaven there. This is the Softleys. They're unbelievably generous. I mean, I've been there when there's 70 other hikers, and every day they wash your clothes. Once you walk up, you have to disrobe and put their clothes on, which they provide for you, so you don't wear your hiker clothes because they wash them one time for you, and they don't want you to get them dirty until you leave. And they don't give you food. That's the only thing you don't get. Anything else? Internet, TV, place to sleep, everything. And several places along the trail, there's families that do that. But you don't really rely on that. That's kind of a nice change of pace. What you do is you sleep in the woods, sleep in the mountains.
Right on the trail, or you find a place?
Every once in a while, if you're really, really exhausted and it's night, I'll just lay down right on the trail. But typically, you want to get off the trail and up into the woods where it's good, secluded, and have wind cover and whatnot.
Are you going to the starting event? Isn't there like a campsite that has?
No, I'm not going to go to the starting event. It's a libertarian protest against their fascist model. I have these hiker bandanas that I am going to sell to make a little money. It's a very quality product that hikers really need. It's I don't have one here, but it's a bandana that says "Hiker to Town, Hiker to Trail." So it helps you hitchhike. It's in large bright yellow lettering. So it's a real aid that people really need this because you hitchhike all the time. I mean, there's like 40 hitches.
Well, to and from the trail, not
to and from the trail. And you hitchhike around town every once in a while. The trail's really spread out, but so hitchhiking becomes second nature. So you want to get that ride, So they say that they don't want to let too many businesses in there because it's all about the thru hikers. Well, here I'm a thru hiker. I'm trying to make money, so they wouldn't let me sell them there. So in protest, I'm not going to their stupid party. I'll wear it anyway. There's nothing out there that I really need. I just wanted to make some money. So anyway, I'll sell them along the trail to the other hikers, see how that goes.
How many hikers do this each year?
Roughly 300 to 500.
And how many make it?
60, 70.
It's not very many, is it?
Yeah, well, most of them bail here.
They can't make it through the southern portion?
They don't want to go through the desert. Because it's not.
You mean they start?
I mean, this isn't.
They skip that
John Muir territory,
Yeah.
This is like a lot of it is really ugly.
Yeah.
Like old engine blocks and refrigerators laying out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And,
You do it because it's a personal quest.
Yeah, it's part of the trail, and believe me, there's a lot of beauty there too. I mean, the desert can be beautiful. And you go up in this place, particularly Mount Laguna, San Gorgonio Pass, Idlewild. You go, there's desert all around you, but you go very high up in the mountains. So there's trees and water and birds and animals and everything. So even though it's in a desert area, you get up high enough. It's amazing with the effects of elevation. But
Are you typically hiking alone?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes the Pacific Crest Trail significantly different from the Appalachian Trail is it's longer by about 600 miles. And the miles themselves, mile per mile, the PCT is much easier to cover than the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail is a very old trail. It's very rocky, and it's harder to cover each mile than the AT. But the PCT, you got to go farther. And not only do you have to go farther, you have to do it faster as well. So
to finish by winter.
To finish by early fall, really, because you can get serious snow here in the early fall. So you want to get off the trail and not get snowed out. There in 2012, there was a group of about 20 people who made it all the way there, 30 miles from the door. They had to leave. So that was, you can imagine I thought I was bummed making it here and having to leave.
Yeah, and you start from the south for that reason. It's
right, yeah, because going north to south is much more difficult.
Possible.
But there's like Idlewild here. There's a dangerous point, snow-related point right there. That's a very significant obstacle if it's handled incorrectly. And then the entire Sierra can have lots of snow. This year is like is similar to what I went in 2008. It's a year of less than average snowfall in these high areas. So that'll make it better. That'll make it better in terms of crossing the creeks, which are extremely dangerous sometimes, and then getting through the snow, which even in a year of low snow, there's going to be many miles of trudging through snow up to your knees.
Weren't you saying occasionally a hiker won't take their pack off when they're crossing? And
they won't undo their belt buckle on their pack.
I found them drowned because
it's
like an anchor. It's wet.
Yeah, once they get in there, once the water gets in the pack, it's very heavy. So they blub blub blub. So to answer your first question about the time and on the schedule. There's that choke point there at Idlewild, and then there's the choke point of the Sierra, and then the final snow. So to answer your question, am I going to be hiking alone or not? There's about a 30-day window to leave the Mexican border to get there. On the calendar is about 30 days. So, unless you're a really, really, really super high athlete hiker, you can go faster. So the idea is that me leaving now, everybody's going to be leaving within a couple of weeks of when I leave. So there'll be plenty of people to be with. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be alone.
And you're starting Wednesday?
I'm flying out Wednesday. I'll start Sunday.
Sunday, which would be the 14th. Mm-hmm. And you'll finish when?
Perhaps as early as the middle of September, probably late September, October. I don't know. It depends on how I do.
And your foot's better for this go?
Oh, my foot's great, man. My foot's 100%. I just saw the doctor today, and everything's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So there, you can see right there, it's 2,650 miles. Razor's Long Walk. He also is going to have a trail journal he's going to keep. Actually, there's already posts in there. You can read his preparation.
Some photography.
Yeah. And we'll be posting more videos and photos that he sends us. And hopefully a couple of us might go out there and see him somewhere along the trail.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hike a bit with him. I'm thinking maybe here. Where's the State of Jefferson? Is that
State of Jefferson is right here. Remember from Etna to Syad, right in there.
And then Three Sisters is up here.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That actually is probably better for you to do that. Yeah. Honestly, because this is going to be very difficult to get to. Sisters, you land in Bend and get over there, and it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really beautiful. This is the nicest place in Oregon in terms of mountains.
There's a video Whit sent me that I'll post with this that you can watch. It's a British couple that did it, and it's 2 hours long. It includes a lot of their photos and videos from when they did it.
Very tastefully done.
And you can see the whole process. See him grow his beard and lose a lot of weight, and you expect to. You've been on a diet, and
oh yeah, I lost about 25 pounds.
You expect to lose
a lot more. I'll lose another 65 pounds, I would think. I'll be 190 by the time I get up there. I'll be look like skin and bones, but it'll be a healthy skin and bones.
And so you had offered Lou Rockwell to raise money for LouRockwell.com or Mises, and he hadn't responded.
Right.
So it just so happened that your good friend and ours, Mark Schmitter's, had some issues with he's on day probably 45, something like that right now, out of 141 at the Orange County Jail. Cold, hungry, and alone. Yep. And
it's a good cause. So what we wanted, we're doing a benefit walk. I'm doing a benefit walk, so you can. We're gonna get a page up to where you can donate for Mark's. You can pay me a penny a mile or whatever amount you want. It's less than more than a penny, and you pay me. I come get the pledges when I'm done. See how far I go. So if you pledge a penny, that would be $2,665. Or $26.65
and 56 cents. Is that mileage accurate?
Yeah, 65 is actually, but
it's 26.65.
Yeah, that's always changes every year. They get the bridges wash out here, and they got to change the.
You got to redo the math.
But Mark's a good cause. I mean, he was doing that all for us and our rights, for
freedom of speech,
freedom of speech, and the real power of the citizens in the jury. You know, which the judiciary does not want to make you aware of. They don't want you aware that you have the control. They want to determine who's guilty and innocent, and instead of going after the case as a scientific examination of what happened, they want to get a verdict.
Yeah.
They want to determine the verdict.
They want convictions, so they
want
can
to
get reelected.
they want to determine the verdict. So we need to. This is a good way to clean our judicial system out, which is an absolute disaster.
Yeah, you can check that out at facebook.com/wearemarkschmitter. And there's also ways you can donate directly if you want to donate more or sooner. And we also have some ideas, maybe give away T-shirts with donors and things like that. And we'll keep posting these updates in facebook.com/wearemarkschmitter as well, so you know what's going on. We can all live through Whit as he goes from Mexico through California forever, Oregon, and Washington.
California's a long walk.
Right up to Canada. We're excited. Do you have your pack here? Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
right
here's
here.
my pack right here.
This is what he's carrying.
That's my whole life. That's my whole world.
That's his sleeping mat, umbrella.
Yep.
It's a cool hat.
Hat, my bag, my all my food handling gear, my stove.
There's a
all my
sleeping
clothing.
bag in there.
Yeah, there's a quilt in there. Here, let me show you, for instance, my clothing. This is all the clothing I'll carry with me, not including what I would be wearing. On a typical day where, say, it was a little bit warm, I'm not wearing the cold stuff. This is a pair of possum wool sleeping socks. It's a balaclava to sleep with. Here's a possum wool vest. You've probably never seen one of these. This is the highest lofting knit known. Warmth per weight, nothing beats possum down or possum wool. This has had.
It's made out of possum.
Australian possum.
Oh.
Possum down, which is the hair. It's a hollow follicle like the polar bear, so it can't get wet. The hair cannot get wet. So it's really it's extremely warm even when it's wet. It doesn't look like much, but it's a great piece and very light. Here's a 2-ounce pair of pants.
2 ounces.
So except for this, I have a pair of hiking shorts and that's it. There's a silk pair of pants. I would very rarely wear these. These would be for sleeping. So that what the sleeping clothes does is it makes you can carry a light bag and you can sleep in cold weather with a light. It's a quilt. It has no bottom. So here's some socks. I use nylon men's dress socks.
That's what you wear on the trail?
Mm-hmm.
While you're hiking?
While I'm hiking, yeah. It's the best one. Here's a possum down cap. Sun gloves for the desert, which I'll get rid of after 700 miles. Here's another pair of socks. And in the Sierra, we wearing wool socks some of the time because I wore those. I foolishly wore those nylon socks in the Sierra and Muir Pass. They had, Muir Pass is just snow and really 32-degree water creeks, and you gotta ford them. On the trail, nobody takes their shoes off when they go across creeks. You just walk through them. So you have to get used to wet, cold feet. But it's really extreme up there. So I got frostbite. So I had to get one of the ends of my toes removed. But, it didn't hurt. Frostbite doesn't hurt. There's no feeling to it. It's frozen off. Even when the lady cut it off, it didn't hurt. But it grew back. So I swear to God, it grew back. Yeah, I lost a lot of reputation when that toe grew back.
So you sleep on the ground. You wake up. On the ground. Wake up with the sun.
No, I've been getting up at 5 here to go train pretty religiously, and I really like doing it. I really love to be moving around an hour before dawn and then experience the whole beginning of the day and everything. It's a very powerful experience for me. So I'm going to set my wristwatch. I have a wristwatch here. And I'll set that, and I'll get up to that. 5. And then I'll probably, on the longest of days, I'd hike till 8 in the evening.
So you eat a little something.
No, I don't eat anything. I'll take a sip of water and move, and then in about an hour and a half I'll sit down and have breakfast.
Mm-hmm. And food and water are the heaviest thing you carry?
Yeah, food and water are by far the heaviest thing you carry. 6 days of food are heavier than the whole pack.
Huh.
7 days of food is, significantly heavier than the entire pack. And the question really now is this small sleeping pad going to be enough? I think it is. If not, I'll have to get something thicker. But it's only 3/16 of an inch thick, so we'll see how it goes. That's one of my strengths is I can sleep in areas that most people find very uncomfortable, so it just happens to be something that I can do well. So,
what about animals?
Well, animals are beautiful. I like to look at them. I just don't like to, have them around when I'm sleeping. So.
You ever had any problems like snakes or bears or?
Bears are a problem because of your food. So the best way to do that I know of is to just don't ever cook dinner where you sleep. Just like I sit down about 5:30. That's dinner, and you don't make camp at all. It's just like your normal break routine. So you take about an hour and you get nice and rested. Get there, and then you get up and you go for another 2 hours, and then you just lay down and go to bed.
So if you're being chased by a bear, you throw your pack and run, right?
No, you don't want to run from the bear. But I saw in this area right here on the border, I had a partner. From the name was Trooper.
His trail name. That's what.
That was his name. I don't even know what his real name was. His name was Trooper. So here's Sierra City, and we went all the way to just before Ashland. He bailed out on me because I was slowing him down. I felt so bad because he was this real self-effacing guy. He couldn't tell me he wanted to go on. Yeah. But it was anyway. Right in here at the border, just about right in there, we saw 13 bear in one day. That's a lot. We had no idea. Now, there was twice we saw 3 different groups of cubs. A trio of cubs twice. But, they were all over the place. Bears are... One thing I learned about bear the last time I went out there, because we saw a good amount of them, is from behind, their asses are really small. A small bear, a big bear, it doesn't look like much. You got to get around on the other side to see how big they are. They got to stand up.
Yeah.
It's odd. They're really odd from the back.
Yeah.
You look at it. Oh, that must be a bear because it's shaggy. But they have this real odd buttocks. It's real small and low. They're like sloped down. Anyway. The bears they're great. And the worst problem with bears I saw was in Yosemite, where the campers are all the time. And they've got all their food, and they've got dumpsters. So the bears come in because they know there's going to be food there.
So you hiked through Yosemite?
Yeah, the trail goes right through Yosemite.
That's awesome.
Where is it right here? Tuolumne Meadows, Kearsarge Pass, Reds Meadow, Mount Lake. That would be.
It's due east.
That would be right here.
Right, like due east of San Francisco, right?
Yeah, that would be right in here, Yosemite. But it's really beautiful. It's just it's a very for the hiker, long distance hiker, it's a real shock to see all those people. You're walking from there's nobody at all
forever,
and all of a sudden there's 5,000 car campers in this one spot. Human waste and oh god. And then everybody's getting drunk from the general store,
Yeah, when you think of California, you think of, high population, however many million people, but the part you're hiking, there's almost nobody, right?
Right. Yeah, the valley, I can't remember the name of the valley offhand, I should know that. This valley on the far side, this is where the bastards in Los Angeles, a guy named Mulholland, he took all their water and diverted all this water. This was a thriving agricultural area, and they took the water in an aqueduct across. Right there, you walk that on top of that aqueduct to go across the Mojave Desert, and they gave it to Los Angeles. Just stole their water.
Right. Well,
there was fighting about that. Many people died trying to get their water back.
And San Francisco took all this water from part of Yosemite, right? They dammed up one of the valleys there.
But I mean, this is this is a desert. This is a stupid place to have.
That's how the Sierra Club got started, right?
Yeah, there's no reason to have a city there. A gigantic city. There's no river there. There's no water there. Why the hell would you want a city there? It's just because of Hollywood. It's ridiculous. It's like a city that shouldn't be there in my mind. I mean, I realize it's huge and everything, but it's a huge waste of money in my mind. I mean, San Francisco, you got the port, the bay, there's rivers. It's a normal city situation. This is just somebody's idea.
You're from San Francisco, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from San Francisco. It a long time ago. But yeah, all this water was diverted so these sons of bitches could build homes and sell them to people. That was like First World War time.
Oh, this is neat. I didn't really notice that before. Resupply location.
Yeah, this map is designed for the hiker to plan his resupplies. That's what this is about. Awesome. Oh, by the way, excuse me. Cut the camera. I got something.
Okay, let's just say goodbye then, and good luck, and thank you for walking for Mark, and we're going to enjoy living vicariously.
Well, thanks for watching the video, and thanks for doing it, Scott. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. See ya.